In 1994, Tim Burton's Ed Wood searched in vain for its audience. The $18 million US production made not even a third of its cost in America back. It won several awards, including 2 Oscars, and was a financial flop, but went well with critics. It is based on the Ed Wood biography by Rudolph Gray, Nightmare of Ecstasy, from 1992. The author also was a consultant on Mark Patrick Carducci's worth-watching Ed Wood documentary from the same year, Flying Saucers Over Hollywood, the Plan 9 companion. Other interesting documentaries on the subject: 1994's Look Back in Angora by Ted Newsom, and 1996 The Haunted World of Edward D. Wood Jr. by Brett Thompson. Edward Davis Wood Jr. was an US film director who, due to lack of money, also often took many other functions on his so-called movies. Such as screenwriting, starring, producing, and so on. Some of which enjoy today the trash cult status, so bad it's good. But it's up to you. He made also some short films. Wood also tried his luck as a writer, made numerous novels and short stories that often took up themes of his movies again, and wrote, sometimes only as a co-author, unnamed, under pseudonym. For example, in the case of Excited from 1970, his participation is only suspected, several scripts for other movies. In the 1956 exploitation movie The Violent Years, a teenage girl neglected by her parents leads her high school friends on a violent crime spree with deadly consequences. In the horror movie The Bride and the Beast from 1958, a woman believes she was a gorilla in her former life and ends up running away into the jungle with an ape while her betrayed husband watches them helplessly. In the 1959 nudie cutie Revenge of the Virgins, a tribe of female Indians, of course constantly naked, vows to do everything in their power to stop the white settlers. This, of course, explains why there is no more Indiania. The 1961 crime drama Anatomy of a Psycho is about Chet, whose big brother is convinced of murder, which leads him committing crimes under paranoia and psychosis, with fatal results. The 1963 comedy Shotgun Wedding was, except for a few clips, not available to me. In the horror nudie cutie Orgy of the Dead from 1965, a horror writer and his girlfriend witness the depravity of the damned after a car accident. The devil, aka fortune teller Criswell, demands entertainment from the female souls under his control. In the sci-fi horror Venus Trap, aka The Revenge of Dr. X, an American scientist, while on vacation in Japan, crossbreeds various flesh-eating plants to create an almost human creature, which needs human blood, and gets, of course, out of control. In the 1974 action crime drama Five Loose Women, a woman is wrongly sentenced to prison for murder. She is now forced to escape with 4 other inmates. As the authorities pursue them, the inmates terrorize or kill anyone who gets in their way. Ed Wood's 1965 self-written autobiography Hollywood Red Race was published posthumous in 1998, 20 years after his death. The same year saw the release of I Woke Up Early the Day I Died, another adaptation of one of his screenplays from 1961, back then called Silent Night and rewritten in 1974 with the current title. The star-cast movie with no dialogue at all is about a thief after escaping from a hospital, robs a pawn shop, loses the money in a coffin and somehow tries to get it back. Some of the movies Ed Wood directed himself are considered lost. There is not even a picture, but sometimes material does turn up. Like in 1995, the 20-minute western short Crossroads of Laredo. Shot in 1948 over 2 days, it was still enough to bankrupt his first company, Wood Thomas Productions, and according to Wood himself, apparently led Ed's partner, Crawford John Thomas, to contemplate suicide. 1951, the sun was setting. This made-for-TV, very slow-paced short is about a woman who, thanks to a mysterious illness, has only a short time to live and can't leave the house, because the excitement would kill her, unlike the audience who rather dies of boredom.
Push the feeling on, push it, let's push it, I gotta keep moving on.
1953, Glenn or Glenda. A police captain consults a shrink to understand what drove a transvestite to suicide, which uses 2 case studies to explain. First, there is Glenn, a transvestite who has not yet told his fiancée Barbara about his tendencies. They cope with it through a series of explanations about the nature of the matter and under the watchful eye of the all-wise Lugosi. Second is the story of the transvestite Ellen, who finally decides to undergo a sex change to become Anne. The movie has no continuous plot, but mainly revolves around Glenn, who confesses at the end his nature to his girlfriend. The various plot elements are supplemented several times by fudged-in unrelated material, and Bela Lugosi embodies a scientist who plays no recognizable role in the movie. He does act as a narrator, kind of, but without providing any relevant information, as this is done by the main narrator. He also has several long surreal dream sequences in which Glenn is haunted by a diabolical character. It is probably, despite all its weaknesses, Ed Wood's best movie, as he honestly, even if a bit awkwardly, just like a child, tells a personal story. In the same year appeared also Crossroad Avenger, The Adventures of the Tuxoon Kid. The short pilot for a never-realized Western series is about an agent who wants to clarify undercover an insurance case. The only thing here that needs clarification is for whom the hell this uninteresting, even back then, dated Western was restored for.
It's up to you, place to learn. It's up to you, place to learn. It's up to you. Their lives again, their light of coolest, their lives again, their light of coolest, their lives again.
1954, Jailbait. The criminal son of a plastic surgeon is shot during trying to turn himself in. The shooter forces the father to give him a new face, and he uses the opportunity to avenge his dead son. The movie is a hodgepodge of all the unpleasant 1950s cliches, woodenly acted, and even has a blackface scene. 1955, Bride of the Monster. Dr. Eric Vonoff conducts in his home, which is located in a swamp, experiments on humans in order to breed atomic superhumans. His assistant Lobo, a mute giant, is in charge of procuring the material. In the process, Vonoff either uses his enemies for his experiments or feeds them to the monster he created, an octopus. After the journalist Janet Lawton has found out about Vonoff, she almost becomes his victim herself. The story is more than far-fetched. The special effects a joke, and for many involved who visibly lack acting experience, it is the first and last time in front of a camera. But still it is the closest Ed came to getting it right. With a working octopus, a better laboratory set, and for sure a better leading man, this could have been really good. It is by far the most entertaining Ed Wood movie and my personal favorite. Place to learn, the light, it's up to you. Place to learn, the light, it's up to you. Place to 1959. Plan 9 from outer space. Aliens try to contact mankind because they fear they could destroy the whole universe with a solar bomb. As a warning, they want to bring back the dead with rays. The alien spaceship lands on a cemetery where 3 deceased get revived and start to walk around like zombies. An old man who got run over by a car, his dead wife, and police inspector Clay, who was murdered by them. Meanwhile, UFOs are sighted all over the country and fought by the army. The movie with which Ed wanted to become famous has managed to do just that, but differently than planned. He's so bad that he's actually good again, and has everything people expect from an Ed Wood joint. A completely out of place introduction by fortune teller Criswell in a coffin, a complete crazy insane plot, lousy effects, actors who were replaced due to passing away during filming, and background music ranging from inappropriate to non-existent. Some mumbling characters have way too much text, while others say nothing at all. This is the ultimate Ed Wood movie. In the same year was The Night of the Ghouls, but in fact it wasn't. It sat unreleased for 23 years on the shelf because Wood couldn't pay the lab. The sequel to Plan 9 about The Walking Dead, again with Criswell Coffin intro, who narrates the movie but this time also has an acting role in the final, is also the third part of the so-called Kelton trilogy. Policeman Kelton already appeared in Bride of the Monster and Plan 9 from Outer Space. The story is about a fake fortune teller who goes by the name of Dr. Akula, probably another title from the Frankfurt Fraud University like the one from fortune teller colleague Dr. Osten, and scams people with a fake ghost and a fake Scarface logo by pretending to contact their dead relatives. But then he accidentally manages to revive a bunch of corpses that end up taking him to the realm of the dead. The movie is downright hypnotizingly boring but has most of the typical Ed Woodery. Night of the Ghouls is the final moment of the golden age of Wood, Ed's last step at mainstream filmmaking. 1961, The Sinister Urge. This one is about the spreading of pornographic movies and pictures and how the police protects the population from it. In addition, a murderer is on the loose, mainly targets women. Wood's last normal movie hypocritically points out the dangers of pornography addiction, and thanks to the leftovers from other movies, its ultra boring cast and typically uptight 50s action, it has not even a trash entertainment value. From the 1960s on, Wood found hardly any backers for his projects, except for porn. This also applied to many of his screenplays, some under pseudonym, directed by others. Of course, I won't show any of them here because I, similar to colleague Ed, take the dangers of porn addiction seriously. He still directed during 1970 to 72 the pornographic movies Take It Out and Trade, The Only House in Town, Necromania and The Young Merits, and died by now addicted to alcohol at the age of only 54 in a friend's apartment, just a few days after Ed and his wife lost their home.
Greetings, my friend. You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here. Can your heart stand the shocking facts of the true story of Edward D. Wood, Jr.?
In the 1950s, Ed Wood is struggling to enter the film industry with various small jobs in Hollywood. Although the performance of one of his plays takes place in an almost empty theater and receives disastrous reviews, he still believes in a successful career in the film business and considers himself a talented filmmaker. By chance, he meets the unemployed movie star Bela Lugosi, who has not made a significant picture in years and now lives without income and morphine addiction. He persuades a small producer to sign Lugosi as a big name, and he himself takes over the direction, the script and the main actor. A few more movies with Lugosi follow, the most famous even after his death, as Ed is sure with this one he will go down in history.
That's a wrap.
The soundtrack by Howard Shore is an ingenious homage to the music from the original Ed Wood movies and fits perfectly with the black and white images on the screen. Originally, director Tim Burton was supposed to make the movie with Columbia Pictures, but they wanted him to use color, so he switched to Disney. The top-class cast had next to Johnny Depp stars like Bill Murray, Sarah Jessica Parker and Martin Landau, who got for his fantastic portrayal of Bela, among others, an Oscar. The scenes in which Ed Wood movies were reenacted are incredibly close to the originals. This is true not only for the settings but also for the dialogues.
Tim Burton, director of Batman, Beetlejuice, and Edward Scissorhands, now takes you to a completely different world. The true story of a Hollywood legend, Ed Wood.
And action!
He made movies like no one else.
You want to keep moving. You've got to get through that door. Ah, that was perfect.
Perfect. Do you know anything about film production?
Well, I like to think so.
He had an eye for talent.
I met Bela Lugosi.
Well, I thought he was dead.
This is the most uncomfortable coffin I've ever been in.
No, he's very much alive. You flying saucer?
He had a passion for storytelling.
Get me transvestites. I need transvestites.
You're flashy. They want that. Okay. But they want professionalism. So nix on the Nelly without losing naivete.
What kind of a movie is this?
When I saw the movie for the first time, it was on video. Again, it was one of those I would have loved to see on the big screen. But it was either not playing anywhere or cancelled too early. Ed Wood is absolutely perfect and on the short best of all times list. It's Tim Burton's most impressive work, and the same goes for Johnny Depp. Excellent cast down to the smallest supporting role. It's a fireworks of gags, interesting characters and incredibly realistic sets. Tim Burton has a fable for old horror movie stars and knows how to stage them respectfully, as he did with the casting of Vincent Price in Edward Scissorhands. This time he manages the amazing task on one hand, drawing attention to the sad fate of many old stars, which, after fading fame, often ended up poor, left alone and addicted, trying to survive with trash productions. On the other hand, he sets a heartwarming monument for two of them that gives those fans who may only have the relegation period in mind a different perspective, making them think.
Really? Worst film you ever saw? Well, my next one will be better. Hello?
I noticed the other day that my Wednesday Pictures estimated 1991 with WP has the same initials as Ed Wood's Wood Productions, and both with similar commercial success. But I'm sure this time it's different. This is the rear view that will finally make me famous.